Hey, I will explain you how to use vanilla commands on executable items. Let's create the item, and there will be 3 examples, the most common, from player, from entity, and from block. Let's see the one from player. I will create an activator, it doesn't matter, and now the command. What command will it be? Well, it depends on your needs. I will not explain you how the vanilla commands works. I will explain you how to use them on summer plugins. In this case, I will summon a particle. So let's explain a little things. First, if you run the command particle, let's see how this works. Okay, the particle explosion in the chords, the size of the explosion, the speed, and the amount of particles. 0.7, and that's it. And it works perfect. What if I add this command into the command list? Well, as you can see, I cannot do this because there is already a command called particle on the list of commands of executable items. So I will make this to run from Minecraft. And that's it. Let's see if this works. I'm doing it and I am clicking and nothing happens. Why? Well, it's because the command is being run from the console, so it is working on the coordinate of 0, 0, 0. How can I change it? Okay, let's edit this again, and instead of using the particle command itself, I have to execute it at certain positions. So I will add execute at player. In this case, player means the name of the player. If let's do this first without placeholders. It would be like execute at Vayk run particle explosion 111.0.20. You can see it's the same as running the normal particle command, but I am executing the command at myself. It's the same as if I would have a cow right here and I want to summon an explosion at its position. Instead of Vayk, I can get its ID and run the command on the cow, even though I am running from myself. In this case, I want this stone to run at my court. That's why I will use this command, but it is not Vayk the name I want, because if I give the item to another one, I want the particle to appear on the another one. So I will use the placeholder of player. And now it will work. Finish, save, save, and save. And now it works. If I right click, it summons the particle at my position. Okay, first example done. If you want this to change, for example, set block a command or change, I don't know, whatever you want, any vanilla command, just this is the idea. These chords means the chords of the player because the command is executing at himself. Well, now let's do the same but with entities. So you would think we just have to change the command, but no, because the activator is not related to an entity. The activator must have relation to whatever we want. For example, let's say player click on entity and I will execute the particle at the entity. Will this command work? No, because the entity is not the player. If I do this, for example, I will click the entity and this command will run. That means the particle will appear at myself. I will right click the entity and you can see the particle appears at me, not at the cow. And I don't want that, so let's change it. First of all, I will set it to right or left because I don't want to hit the cow every time. And instead of player, I have to run the command at the cow. It would be target? No, because target works on players. If you would like the particle to appear on the player that you are hitting, you would need an activator like player hit player or player click on player, and you can use target. In this case, I will use entity UUID. That means the UUID of the entity I am hitting. And finish, save and save and save. And as you can see that the particle appears at the cow. And that is what I want. So we already know how to use it with players, how to use it with targets. Remember, players works on all activators because all activators are related to a player. Target only works with activators related to targets. If I want to spawn a particle, okay, execute at target placeholder and run your vanilla command. If I want this to work with an entity, okay, execute at entity UUID and run the vanilla command. And what about blocks? Because blocks may be quite hard. Let's see how it would be. I will edit this one, and the activator will be now. Just for nothing. All play, all click, and only block. Okay. I want to spawn a particle on the block I click on. So, player commands. Let's do what we already know. Execute at player, run particle. I have it right here. Okay, perfect. So, if I click a block, particles are spawned, but they are at my position, not at the block position. And that is not what we want. How can I spawn the particle on the position of the block? Okay, let's see. It's not the same as we learned before because execute at needs a live entity, a player, a target, the entity, but the block is not an entity. So what we will do is execute the command at the player, perfect, but the particle will not spawn at the position of the player. Remember that these symbols means the position where the command is run. In this case, the command is being run at the player. But we will change this. Execute at the player, but the particle command will run at the entity coordinate. Or in this case, the block, sorry, my bad. In the block coordinate. Int and block int. And that's it. Let's see if this works. And now the particle is being spawned on the position of the block. But you can ask me, so, okay, you are running the command at the position of the block, but why the executed player? Can I remove it? Well, let's see if this works. Normally it won't. Perfect. It doesn't work because the command is being run at the console, and the console is running the command in the world it wants. I want the command to work on to run on the world of the block. So I can do execute at player run particle, or I can do execute in block world. Let's see. Sorry, in block world. Let's see. No, it's not necessarily the lower part. Here. Okay, now it works. Yeah. Or either in block world or execute add player. If I don't add these symbols, it doesn't work. it needs to add the symbols. That's explained on the wiki. And that's it. So I hope you understand. If you want the command to run at the player, okay, execute at player, run the vanilla command with the placeholders you want. If you want it to work at the target, okay, and activate related to target and execute at target. If you want it to work at that entity, execute at entity, run your vanilla command with the placeholder you want. And finally, the block one. The block one is hard because it doesn't work with execute at, because at needs a live entity. So you can do two things, or execute in block world with the symbol with those symbols, or execute at player. They are the same, because then on the real vanilla command we will need to use the block coordinate placeholders. Let's do another example on the block one because I think it's the hardest to understand. I will break the block and I want a diamond block to spawn above. So normally we would do execute at player, run set block. This is what we normally would do. One diamond block. So if I click this one, the diamond block spawns at myself because execute at the player, at the position of the player, and the set block of the command one block above on the position of the player. But I want this vanilla command to work on the position of the block. How to do this? I cannot do execute at block. That is not possible. So we have two ways as I explained it. The first part, execute at player, can be replaced with execute in block world. They will both work. I will show you then after we set up the correct command. The thing what we must change is the position the vanilla command is running. We can't use these symbols. We have to use the block position placeholders. Block x int, block y int +1, and block z int. Now, if I break this block, the diamond block spawns above it. And that is what we wanted. But what if we, instead of execute at player, use execute in block world? Well, it works the same. What if we remove those symbols? I don't want them. Well, it will not work. And that's it. I hope you understood. Now you know how to use vanilla commands on players, target, entities, and blocks. The hardest one is blocks because we can't use execute at, but it is needed. And the change you have to do is to add the block positions placeholders on the vanilla command. Normally you just add these symbols, but on the block placeholders you can't. I hope you understood everything. If you have a question, feel free to ask, and see you.